Carl, please give us money.
I wanted to watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I heard there was all this drama around the guy who made it.
Lin Manuel Miranda?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just saw that
I'm
there was
immediately
drama.
offended.
I mean,
What's
maybe
the drama?
maybe it's lying women.
I mean, most likely.
Well, it's always
No, wait,
lying
what's,
women.
what's the
What
drama?
kind
I
of
actually don't know. It might not have been like a Me Too drama. I think it might have just been like he's really annoying, or maybe he's. It's either he's really annoying, he steals like something,
Okay,
like
Nikki, you don't know what you're talking about.
or it was something about like how he interacts with racialized cast. It was one of the three.
Okay, I can't make any judgment on this.
I have
based
heard
on-
none of it.
I recommend that you don't.
He what was I gonna say about? Did you see that it was like some church in America, like did a whole version of Hamilton but changed like all of the words to like be obsessed with Jesus and God and stuff.
Oh,
So they sued them. Like they did
amazing.
all the costumes, the whole thing, the tune, everything. But it was all about how amazing God is, and the singing is so bad.
I love that.
It's so
so
bad.
much.
Wait,
Christian
Hamilton's-
people are the best. Like they suck, but they're so funny.
But wait, Hamilton sued them?
He did because they
Alexander
took like
Hamilton. Yeah.
Alex came back from the dead. They sued this like group because like they took all the music, most of the lyrics, just changed it around a bit, the whole story, everything.
Okay, but like who cares?
Because the rights, they didn't pay for the rights.
Yeah, but are they distributing it and making money off of it? Actually, they
was
probably
probably
are.
making money.
Yeah, they were making money.
Yeah, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, if I know
I don't
Christians.
I don't know why you're so anti-Hamilton and pro-Christianity.
Well, no, I'm pro creative open source stuff. Like I don't think like copyright should exist around creative things. Like I think we should be able to sort of develop on top of each other, make parodies, satire, all that stuff.
But it's not even a parody or a satire. It's like, this is the Jesus is great version.
But then what about Weird Al Yankovic?
He probably paid for the rights, I would imagine.
I would imagine that too.
Okay. Well, I'm saying I don't think you should have to.
Okay, you should write a letter to Lin Manuel Miranda.
I've written many. We're pen pals.
If someone stole all of your jokes and just slightly
Oh.
changed them, how would you feel?
How would you feel, Nikki?
Are they doing a better job than me?
Yes. I should have said impossible.
I'm sweating suddenly. If they stole all my jokes word for word,
They slightly changed them. Slightly. That's what they did with this poor old
do they
Alexander.
say like I got this inspiration from Nikki?
No.
But I'm sure the Hamilton Christians say
The
that
Hamilton Christians.
say that they got inspiration from Hamilton.
Okay.
If I was as famous as Hamilton,
Yeah. As Lin Manuel Miranda, right? Or do you mean as Alexander Hamilton?
as the play or the musical,
Yeah.
if I was that famous,
Uh-huh.
and then some little sad Christian group was like taking my jokes and making them into funny Christian versions, I'd be like, LOL.
But not funny. It's harmful.
It's
Harmful?
Yeah.
It's
like,
anti-gay.
It's like, yeah, it's like all, and it's like turbo Christians.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
turbo Christians, like TurboTax.
Except for Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so bad, though. It's really funny to watch.
Okay, if it's harmful, then
Yeah, it's very harmful.
execute them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, again with the hard line opinions.
I love
Execute
a
them.
minute ago
This
you're
is-
like, it's fine. Now you're like, kill him.
Kill them all. I feel like this kind of leads into a question that I think you wanted to ask.
Oh
us, right?
yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, specifically with Amy because my opinion was like so weird. But
I'm excited.
but I was curious what all of our opinions were on each other when we first met, or I think what's more interesting is like before we met, like if we were observing
I love
each other, because we've been in the same circles before we were friends.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what everyone thought of everyone.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Do it.
So I historically am a bit of a creep. Like if I'm involved, because I always like have some sort of like hobby that involves a lot of people. So like I used to do a lot of theater, and obviously now I do comedy. And so I always like get to know people before I actually meet them in a way that's like potentially kind of creepy. So I knew both of you intimately before we met.
I love that.
Like I knew exactly who you were. I had looked at your LinkedIn.
My LinkedIn?
Yeah, same with you. I did all of the same things. I don't think I looked at you on LinkedIn, but also because you did like something marketing-y and I do something marketing-y,
Right.
I was like, oh, well, we have so much in common.
Yeah.
And at the time, you had bangs,
I did have bangs, and we had the same glasses.
and we had the same glasses. Anyway, so I already knew who both of you were before we met.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw that we were on the same lineup, or you were hosting the late night at Susie's,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on the show. And I remember I came up the stairs and you were there and nobody had told you what to do. And I'm a huge busybody.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I can just make the list. And like, oh, here's the list for you. And then I remember I just like started asking you a bunch of questions.
Uh-huh.
And I just thought you were very cool. And I just had that feeling of like, oh, I really want to be friends with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave you my therapist's name.
You did. That was the second time.
That
we
was the
met.
second time.
Yeah.
Because the first time I was just like a bit, not scared, but like, I was just like, oh, this person is really cool and I want to be their friend, but I don't really know how to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I was like, I know how to make that happen. I will give her my therapist's name.
This woman's unwell.
Yeah. I know how to make her like owe me something. And that something is friendship. So that was my first impression of you.
Okay.
So my first impression of you, we met at this terrible open mic. Probably the worst open mic I've ever done. Sorry, I'm not going to say what it's called.
Is that an open mic?
It was an open mic, yeah. It was a booked open mic, but it was an open mic.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I remember seeing you on the poster, and I had seen you previously to that because I was at a Jokes Please.
Yes.
And you were also there sitting alone, but
Yeah,
I
'cause
didn't
had no friends.
Yes, but I didn't know that you had no friends because you seemed so like beboppy, like on social media when I looked at you before I followed you. And and so I remember whispering to my ex-boyfriend, who was my boyfriend at the time, obviously. I was like, "Oh, that's somebody who does comedy. Like she's from Ireland and she does comedy." So, and he was just like, "Okay, calm down."
Oh, so you didn't do comedy at the time?
No, I did, but like I had only done like a month of Susie shows. You were just all over the place, like really like hitting hard to get shows. So your name was everywhere. And
I didn't think I was that soon, but yeah.
Sorry?
I didn't think I was that soon, but
Well, I think also because I was really trying to just keep an eye on people who I thought might be like allies, you know? Because I could.
You sound like you're the FBI. I was trying to keep an eye on potential allies.
So I looked at her LinkedIn and her family history. I know your blood type.
I just really didn't want to be alone. It's hard to be a woman in comedy. I don't know if you've heard that before.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No idea.
Easy for you because friends just hunt you down.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so we were at this horrible open mic, and I remember I was sitting with this one person that I'd met previously, who I thought was like fine. But then I saw you, and you were sitting in a corner drawing a dog.
Which I've also never seen you draw.
That's the first and only time I've ever seen you draw.
And wearing purple overalls.
And you were wearing purple overalls.
Are you going to comment on the fact that you don't draw anymore? Or
I'm
what's
gonna
going on?
tell you, I just was like, okay, that whole image, it sounds like I have like, there's something wrong with me.
There
I'm in the
is.
corner in purple overalls drawing a dog digitally as well.
But I thought it was so cool. And because you were sitting like with all the like men. And I was like, whoa. She's sitting with the men of comedy.
It was, so I used to, so during COVID, I did this thing where I would draw people's dogs on like my tablet and then give, they'd pay me like whatever, €20. I'd give half the money to a dog charity and then keep half for myself. So I did lots of that during COVID and then I stopped because I just got bored of it. And then I was doing, that day I was doing it, that was a Christmas present that I was doing. Yeah,
And
so
I
I haven't drawn since.
I thought you looked really cool.
So funny.
And then I did my set. And then after I'd done my set, I was like, oh, maybe I can go talk to her. So I sat down next to you and I think I just started peppering you with questions and being like really like weird and aggressive. And then I remember, but I thought you were really cool. And then
was I nice?
You were like nice, but you seemed like you thought that I was weird.
How would you have reacted if she approached you like that?
And said she knew everything about me.
I didn't know everything about you.
Just that she's crept you on social media.
See, I creep everyone, so, well, a lot of people. So I'd be like, cool, but also, who are you?
It comes on, I came on strong.
Yeah.
I kind of like when people admit to that kind of stuff because I think we all sort of do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when because you admitted that to me pretty early on in
I
our
think I did.
friendship.
Yeah, I think
I
I
think
did.
And I
early
respect
on
it.
is okay, but like the other day I went on a date and this guy was quoting stuff from my Instagram first date.
Quoting
Like,
stuff is
I was
weird.
like, nah.
There's
Too
a
much.
way to
Too
do
much.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you have to be like, oh, I saw that you are a comedian. Like, where do you perform?
Yeah, not,
Not
like,
like-
super specific
Yeah.
stuff because it's like, wait, what?
But
the
then
first time is kind of
I also kind of respect it because lately a lot of like new female comics have followed me on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
that I've never met. And I'm like, I actually kind of respect that you're just following me instead of doing it secretly.
Oh,
Like, do it out in the open, you know?
you didn't follow us. You just.
No, I was just looking at you. And then I followed you once I met you because I didn't want to be creepy.
Oh wait, wasn't
I do
my
that sometimes
account
too.
private?
I don't know. It must not have been.
not your LinkedIn.
And I looked at it on an incognito tab.
I do that sometimes.
I do it all the time. I know so much about so many people.
Well, I only use incognito for porn. What are you guys using incognito for?
Everything where somebody might, like LinkedIn.
Oh, I don't use. No, sorry. I use the privacy setting of off. Like you can't see me on LinkedIn. I use
Yeah.
incognito just for porn too.
Oh, I use why are you using incognito for porn?
I don't know, just in case someone like opens up my
Yeah.
laptop and they start about to search YouTube and then it fills it out.
That would be awkward.
Yeah, and then they
Yeah.
see my taste. I don't want them to
Do
see
you
my
mean
taste.
someone is your boyfriend?
No, well, my boyfriend has his own computer at home,
Oh,
but if
okay.
someone came over and they're like, I'm just going to put on a playlist.
Yeah. And the playlist is just like your porn.
yeah, exactly. I actually have a note in my phone where I save all of my favorite porn videos.
Nice.
But at the top, it's just like a bunch. Actually, I'm not going to tell you guys.
Yeah, don't tell her. keep that to yourself. But okay, wait, I'll very quickly finish my impression of you. And then I remember I walked to the bus stop and I'd said goodbye to you and it was like all normal. And I was like, okay, I feel like I did that social interaction, like maybe a bit okay. And then I walked to the bus stop and then you were there and it seemed as if I had followed you there. And I was just like, oh, hi. And then you kind of like looked up and like looked at me like in like an Amy way. And then I was like, where do you live?
Oh, that's the right thing to ask.
I know. So
Was I weird then? Was I like
you weren't weird. You just seemed nervous around me.
You seemed like
Like,
you were
in a
having
way-
a normal reaction to the energy she was bringing.
I was excited
This face.
to meet another woman. That face.
yeah. What?
Okay, I'll start with Amy because
Yeah.
I feel like I've never shared this and maybe I've shared with you.
You haven't.
Oh, I haven't.
Nope.
Okay, Amy, I also knew of who you were because I would see you on posters and stuff,
Yeah.
specifically in that sweater that you would wear,
yeah.
the cool sweater.
The cool sweater.
And then you also had like a show at the Mountain, the old Mountain. Shout out to the
Oh,
Mountain.
yeah.
So I just thought you were this like really cool girl that was like really in the comedy scene in like a really integrated way, the queen of comedy, if you will. And I remember I saw you at a show one time at Calabash.
Yeah.
And I came to talk to you because I was like, okay, I'm going to become friends with this girl because she seems cool. But you were just like really against I had just done a roast.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like, I would never do a roast. Like, and I now knowing you, it was you being like, I'm too scared to do a roast.
Yeah. That's exactly what.
But I was like, she thinks I'm stupid for doing a roast.
oh
no.
I was like, this girl doesn't like me. This girl thinks she's better than me.
Oh shit.
no! It was just me being a scaredy
I know.
cat.
No, but no. And then I was like, oh, she's gonna be like one of those. You know those like some women that you meet that are like, they're like nice, but the things that they say like cut you
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like that is what I was scared you were like.
Oh no.
And then I saw you again at another show, and I was like, I don't want to. I'm not gonna. And then
Oh my god.
and then I forget it was an outside of a your face right now.
Don't worry, she doesn't think this of you now.
I know. I'm like,
You're very good friends.
Yeah, literally one of my best friends.
so worried. I'm like, oh no.
And then I saw you outside of a comedy setting. By the way, my ankles are sweating right now. I just want everyone to know.
My knees are sweating.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I saw you outside of a comedy show, like in a social gathering, and we like really bonded. And then I was like, okay, no, this.
What social gathering was it?
I forget
Was it my
where we
housewarming?
were. No, it was before that.
Oh,
Because
okay,
I remember when she was coming to the housewarming, I was like, yay, another
Yes.
chance to bond with Amy.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good. Whew.
Yeah. And
crazy.
it's so weird because the person I saw you as then in my brain is so different to the person I see you now.
Yeah, and also I didn't even have, even at that point, when I had that the first dog show, I didn't even have that many friends. I think that kind of people were like, oh, okay, this girl's sticking around, or like that kind of, because even at that I was like, I don't like. Ugh.
Also,
So
speaking
that's
of
so
the
fun.
dog show, would you like to plug your next dog
Well,
show?
that's a good
Yeah.
good segue. Yeah, bringing back the dog show.
Woo woo.
It had a bit of a hiatus during the summer. Nice. Please bark again.
Woof woof.
So yeah, dog friendly comedy show at the Motton, September 14th. You can bring your dog. You also don't need a dog. You can just come and
Wow.
have fun with other people's dogs and watch comedy. So yeah, September 14th. The tickets are on sale now.
I'm
like a
actually
great
realizing
show.
it's like double therapy because like you get to go and laugh and then you also get to go and pet dogs.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, audiences like speak to each other like they don't really speak to each other at other
Yeah.
shows, because everyone's like, "Woo, doggies!"
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a fun time. You should come. Love
You
it.
should.
Danielle, the first time I met you, I was
I'm
like,
so scared.
I had never heard of you before I had met you.
Great.
But that was just because you had just finished that class.
What? When did we meet? No, we met in like March, didn't we?
I don't remember. Anyways, I remember just thinking like this person is very friendly
Yay.
and I enjoy being around them, but I feel like they don't vibe with me. I think what I'm realizing
yeah.
is that I just think that everyone doesn't like me when I first meet them.
I think it's that.
But then I saw that you were like also really, really good at stand up.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, this person is a really, really good writer. I actually think we have more in common than we think, because I also like, I think my strength is writing. I don't necessarily think I'm like the most amazing performer, but writing I feel more strong about. And so I was like, oh my God, we can bond on that. And then I got nervous because I was like, I don't want to like not fuck it up, because that makes it sound like I like have a crush on you, but
Yeah.
like I didn't want to come off too strong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt too. Not wanting to come
wow.
off too strong.
Yeah.
But then I came off way too strong.
Well, clearly
Can't
not.
help it.
Because I thought you didn't like me.
That's
That's just a
Yeah.
me problem.
yeah, that's so wild
Yeah.
to me, because I feel like I came on so strong with you.
No, I didn't feel that way at all.
Oh.
I think I sort of need that.
Yeah.
I need someone to be really like openly showing that they want to hang out with me. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I just assume that you hate me.
Yeah.
So we met in December. Yeah, that show, and I think I'd seen your name on stuff, and then I couldn't hear your set because the show that we were doing, nobody cared that there was
Nobody
comedy.
cared.
Like nobody was listening, and I could hear bits of it, and I was like, oh, what I can hear is funny. But yeah, I remember I was like, oh yeah, she was nice, and then I don't think I had any friends in comedy at that point. Anyway, so it was around that time I was so nervous about speaking to anyone. So that was probably that weird energy that I was giving. I was like, someone was talking to me. And then I really remember I was like, oh no, I really like this girl, when we were in Comedy After Dark. And you were telling me about some relationship issues you were having.
Oh yeah, you told me
At the
about
time.
relationship issues the second time we met too.
And we just,
I had a bad relationship at the time. I really needed to talk to someone.
we really bonded over it, because like you also had like a few boyfriends like previously, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, same. I've
Yeah.
had like a few boyfriends in the past, and then I remember you were like still in the relationship, but you were talking like as if it was over, and I was like,
I was like talking about finding
Finding a
apartments
new-
on Craigslist. This was in like April, I want to say, that we like bonded in
Proper
that.
bonded, yeah.
And me and my ex-boyfriend had broken up in May.
yeah.
But like, yeah, at that time, because I didn't want to talk to anybody who knew both of us. So like my only outlet to
Oh.
talk about it was like comedy people.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to tell everyone who will listen, because
So
I don't know how to handle this.
because I remember you were like, yeah, and like we're still together, and then you were like, so I'm looking for apartments. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's done. Like, and I was like, I like her.
And we hugged.
And we did.
Do you
yeah.
remember
we were
that?
up on the
We were,
high
and we were the
chairs.
only women.
We're the only women.
That was like
over in the
such an
corner.
impactful moment for me as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I really feel connected to
Yeah,
this
I
girl.
was like, oh, finally, because I genuinely like so I got here in late September, October, whatever, early October, and then didn't have friends until like April. So So I was just like going to gigs.
That's still really fast for moving to a city, especially
Yeah.
Vancouver of all cities.
That's true, yeah, and because like when there's so many men as well, it's hard to like when they're all doing bits. It's hard to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And then I'd seen on so many posters, and we gigged together in that Venables gig on the ladies' night, but we didn't speak to each other, and I was like,
because I was avoiding you.
he's hilarious. Yeah, that was before the Calabash, because I was like, oh, that's the Nikki girl, and also I don't know if I've told you this, that a couple of people called me Nikki a couple of times, and I was like, no, I'm Amy. I don't know, at the very at
I
that
guess
time.
just two dark-haired women.
Yeah, like that's literally dark-haired women. And then that Calabash time, I remember I came in and I was like, damn it, I missed her. I wanted to see your roast. And then I was like, yeah, I remember it so well being like, I'd never do a roast, because I was like, it's so scary. And then after that, then I was like, oh yeah, she seems so nice. And then we became friends then.
Yeah.
But I felt like we didn't even become close then for another while after that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
It's so funny.
Also, I said before that I don't think I'm as good of a performer, and I'd like to not talk about myself like that.
yeah,
Good for you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to at the time be like, no,
Yeah.
because I feel like that's also not helpful. But good
Yeah.
for you for
Yeah.
recognizing that yourself.
Yeah, I felt like I had to say something mean about myself because I said that I was a good writer.
No.
And so then I felt like I had to cut myself down. And I don't want to do that anymore,
No.
you guys.
Shall we do misophonia?
Yeah.
Misophonia.
I'm glad that there's no chewing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's no
Okay, we're
chewing this
doing
time.
iced tea, everyone.
I am going to have no idea because I've only had one flavor of iced tea.
Try not to
So-
look directly into the cup because you can see the
Okay.
Letters.
Do not look directly into the cup. So there are 3 iced teas. Could you put that down
yes.
for me, Amy?
And don't look into it.
Do not look into it.
Because I think we forgot that liquids are famously clear.
They are. Even iced tea, even though it's brown.
Yeah.
A small brown. There are 3 iced teas here. We've got Brisk, we've got Arizona, and we've got Pure Leaf. Okay, those are the 3 iced teas. We're going to try them all, and then we're going to try to guess which is which. Nikki, you take a sip, take a sup, take a slurp.
Ooh, don't say slurp.
Slurp.
Actually, how about we... no, never mind. Just don't look at the bottom.
We're not going to, you've
Just
said it
look
a
up.
lot. We're not going to look at the bottom.
You're looking at the bottom. Look up.
She's totally looking at the bottom.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, don't do that.
Oh, you remind me of Silence of the Lambs.
Wait, why?
Because you
You know
look
when he
like
does
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins who does the mouth thing.
I respect that. Sorry, I want one more. I want one. I have a
Should we
joke
just
about
like
it?
all
yeah,
be
I do.
drinking right now?
Sure.
Probably, right?
Well, I don't even. I'm not gonna know which.
No, I think we should all drink the same one and pass it around.
Okay. Good thing neither of us have cold sores. Although that wouldn't matter to you.
I don't think I told you guys.
What?
That a friend of the guy I got with at the festival was like, yeah, we were all pulling the piss out of him for getting with you when you had a cold sore.
Oh,
And I was like,
good.
That's on him.
Oh, it's 100% on him.
That's not on me. But also I was like, ugh, men sitting around making fun of me.
Yeah.
I think I know what this is.
What do you think it is?
I want to wait until I'm done, but I think I know what it is.
Why do you want to wait till you're done? The part of the game is the fun of saying this is an audio podcast.
Okay, stop with the tone.
No, the tone there was intentional.
Do you want to get the second one going?
Sure. What do you think that one is?
But why?
Did you look into it?
No, I didn't.
Nikki, trust us.
I have never
Trust
tried any
us.
of these stupid teas, so I have no idea about any of them.
They're not stupid.
Call them stupid.
We love iced tea. I think that one's Brisk. Or Arizona, but I think Brisk. But Brisk has the aftertaste, so I want to wait until that one.
I think this one's the pure guy.
Okay.
Pure guy.
Give it to me, please.
Give it to
I think you're right. I think that one's either Arizona or Brisk.
Yeah, me too.
That one's no, I don't know.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. That one's really sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like no,
it feels very full-bodied.
Yeah.
Full-bodied tea.
full-bodied tea, and
Yeah.
you're not a fan of that?
I guess if I'm having an iced tea, I want it to have a little bit more like lemony sweetness to it.
Okay,
It's like
interesting.
such a layer on your mouth.
Yeah. Okay, our last tea.
Don't look at the bottom.
I'll look at your bottom.
Okay.
I like this one the best, whatever it is.
Okay, it seems like you want to try to keep it.
I've been holding all of them like this.
But that one, when you said, I like this one the best, you sort of pulled it towards yourself a little bit.
I think this one's Arizona.
Okay.
Because Arizona is my favorite.
Okay, I'm not looking at the bottom just to
Don't
just
look
to
at
say.
the bottom.
Have you guys been to Arizona?
Uh-uh.
Have you been to any of those states over there?
No, this is Pure Leaf. I insist upon it.
You looked.
Yeah, you did. The way you were looking into the distance.
Because I wanted you to know I wasn't looking down.
I really appreciate that, actually.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I have not, but me and Alice were about to go. Oh no, it wasn't Arizona. Never mind. I have not been to Arizona, but I really want to.
Yeah, me
like
too.
desperately.
Should we go?
Okay, will we guess?
It's
Which-
cheap.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. That's a friendship conversation.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
You're
ready.
looking at them.
Oh my god.
I know what they are. I know what they are.
Freaking rip.
I know what they are. I know.
I'm gonna do my guess.
Okay, yeah, please, since you probably know the best.
I do. Thank you.
I know what they are.
Brisk.
Uh-huh.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Arizona
Okay.
and
Pure Leaf.
Pure Leaf.
That
Why
really
have I
annoys
never
me.
been more attracted to you than when you're mad at me?
You need to look into that.
I
Nikki.
do.
You really need to look into that. That annoys me because I feel like you're just stealing my answers. Because I said the first one was Brisk and I said the last one was Pure Leaf.
Honestly, I wasn't even listening to what you guys guessed.
I mean, that hurts even more.
Because I was like, I don't know. I've never had any of them, so I'm just going to
you
guess.
guess the same?
Well, 100%, yeah.
Yeah?
That's what they are.
I can't remember
I'm
what I
done.
said.
Okay.
I
I
win.
guess I have to be contrarian again.
Again. Because I want this to be fun.
I'm
Honestly,
less nasally. Try again.
I want this to be fun.
Oh, I've got a baritone.
No,
Oh.
I'm Nick. Okay, wait. Let me channel you.
you gotta
Okay.
shake out the blank.
Ready?
I'm so excited.
Okay.
For those of you listening, she tucked her hair behind her
I
ear.
tuck my hair. Okay. I want this to be fun.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Okay. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good. And I didn't mean that in a mean way.
I didn't take it in a mean
Okay.
way.
I was
did. I thought
honoring
it was
you.
super bitchy.
Do you want me to do you?
Yeah, do it. Go on.
Do it.
That was phenomenal.
Okay, what's your guess?
What's your guess?
My guess is. Oh, sorry. My guess is Brisk,
Yeah.
Pure Leaf, Arizona.
Wow. Okay. Will I reveal?
Do
Yes.
it.
Brisk.
Did we all get that?
We're all
Okay.
correct. Round of applause.
I guess that class.
Arizona.
Oh.
Nice.
Pure Leaf.
Oh.
So you like
Pure Leaf more than I like Arizona.
you like Pure Leaf more than you like Arizona.
Let me try it again. Hold
okay.
on.
This is Pure Leaf.
Interesting. When I was in college in North Carolina, and I saw the amount of sugar that they put into the sweet tea in the cafeteria. Holy fucking shit.
It's
It was
insane.
not supposed to swear. They had a bucket of sugar with
I
a
don't
shovel.
like Arizona.
Arizona's such a high school drink. Did you drink it in high school?
No, but I always get it when I'm hungover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
But you know what? They do say you're supposed to have something sweet when you're hungover,
Do they? Why?
just because your blood sugar is low.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you want some of this?
I don't want any of it.
Okay. Wow. I'll have some.
So we're the winners.
We're the winners. We're the winners.
Well, it depends how you define winning.
The traditional definition.
Oh, so we're traditional. So we don't like Christianity, but we like traditional winning.
Yes.
What's unconventional winning or like non-traditional winning?
Well, you can win because you're really happy about how you participated, how you conducted yourself, and what you contributed.
I think you need to take an improv class.
This is like getting a participation medal when you are
It's a little
in the
bit
race.
different. It's a little,
bit
different.
different.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with I don't agree with participation medals.
Hot take.
Yeah, because I'm like, these kids need to learn. You're
Okay,
not gonna,
Dad.
You're not going to get a medal in life just for participating.
Sometimes you are.
Sometimes you are.
I think that the kids need to be tougher. These wusses out
Wow.
You think they need to be
I don't want to
tougher?
raise a child with you.
there. Well, you're not gonna.
I
so.
could have.
So the question I had for you guys was, what has been your worst bomb? So like your worst gig. It doesn't necessarily have to be like no laughs, but like mostly uncomfortable.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for describing it that way. I do have one. It's just top of mind because it happened very recently. So I was doing a gig and it's summertime, and so there's like not as much comedy going on, and also the audiences I find are just like a little bit stranger maybe. Anyway, so mine was recent, and I was at a show and I hadn't done a gig in like a week, which like is quite a long time in terms of not having like run my jokes.
Yeah.
And I was in a rush that day, so I didn't even go over my set remotely before I went on stage. I just went on stage and started doing it. So I like did most of my jokes wrong. And like the writing of my jokes is important to me. Like the wording is important to me. And I just did most of them wrong. And then my closer, and I went over time. So I'd gotten the light to tell me to stop talking. And then I did my last joke, and I did not in any way set it up. I didn't do any of the setup. There was no context whatsoever. I just said the punchline and then got no laughs because nobody knew what I was talking about. But then I didn't have any further time. So I was just like, that would have made more sense if I had said the beginning. Have a good night. And then I left.
Did people laugh at that?
Yes.
My worst was I think I'm just over a year doing comedy, and I went to Manchester to visit my brother, and I went there with my sister and my boyfriend at the time. So yeah, we went on the sesh, which means we just went drinking for the whole weekend. And then I had a gig on the Monday, and I didn't even drink that much on the Sunday, and I couldn't eat. And then I had this so it was a gong show. So basically, you have to try and beat the timer. And this particular club is called the Frog and Bucket, and the show is called Beat the Frog. So basically 3 audience members get cards with frogs on them, and then if all of 3 of people hold up their frogs, a ribbit sound goes over the speakers, and I'm a loser, baby, why don't you kill me, plays, and you have to get off the stage. And I was so nervous that I arrived like an hour early for the gig, got there, realized that I was last, so I had to wait, and there was so many people on the freaking show. I had to wait 3 hours to go on stage.
Wow.
And I hadn't eaten all day. I was so nervous. And something that happens to me when I'm nervous is I gag. So I kept gagging. I actually vomited. Nothing. There was nothing.
God.
And I think I had like 3 chips, and then I puked. And then, I had to go up on stage. And my brother brought like his friends from college, and my cousin was there. It was also my brother's first time seeing me do stand-up.
That's also a horrifying show concept.
Yeah. It is.
Terrifying.
Really scary.
Yeah, it was the easiest one I could like get onto without like having many credits and stuff at the time.
Right.
So what made it worse was there was a comedian from Ireland at the show as well, and he was just before me.
Oh, no.
So like they were like, ooh, something new, an Irish person. And then he went on, murdered. I went up. Oh my God. I was like shaking, and I lasted 2.5 minutes though.
Nice.
I got some laughs, but it was just so bad. And then, yeah, they all lifted their cards. And like beforehand, my brother, like, he was ribbing me. He was like, we're going to play like that song all the time if you don't beat it, blah, blah, blah. And then I got down and he was like, I thought you were funny. And I was like, ah. And one of his English friends afterwards was like, I couldn't understand a word she said. Like, I was just like, and then also to make matters worse, I mean, he's a great comedian, but the Irish comedian, he won the whole thing. So I was like, I was one of the worst, and then he was the best.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was horrific.
That is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it has stayed with me for years.
That's a really good
It
one.
was really bad. It was awful. What about you, Nikki?
I think like, okay. One time there was a show happening, and it was a summer show. It was last summer. And these shows notoriously did not have a great turnout. And the venue also didn't like the fact that we were there, probably because they didn't have a great turnout, so they weren't making any money off of it. And I was just so nervous to go up because everybody was bombing, and I was not in a place where I felt okay with getting up and having an experience where I was doing really badly, even though that was happening for everybody else too. But then people who were engaging with the crowd seemed to be doing well. Anyways, whatever. I get on stage, and then I notice that there's some guy who throughout the show has been filming everybody's sets, but I'm sitting behind him, so I'm the only one who notices that he's filming everybody's sets. And I tell the showrunner, and they were like, we'll talk to him about it or whatever. And then they didn't. And then I got on stage, and I saw that he started to film my set. And I really didn't. I was trying out something like bizarre and really half-baked. So I didn't want anyone to post it somewhere or anything. And I at the time I didn't have the crowd work skills to like make a joke about it. So instead I just turned to him and I went, could you please just not film the set? I would really appreciate it if you didn't. And it just sucked any ounce of energy that was in the room just like right out of it. Yeah.
That's painful. And
Yeah,
then you just had to keep going.
And then I just had to keep going. The audience, I mean, to be fair, there wasn't that much energy in the room as anyways, but it was just it was so awkward because I think the comic before me like got them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, But I'm like, I don't know. Like, I get that it's uncomfortable because I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm reprimanding like a student or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, and actually I've had a lot of friends do this where they'll come and film a clip of my set and then post it on their stories.
Ew.
And then I'm like, well, I can't share this because
Yeah.
I'm not, unless you turn the audio off, I'm not going to share it onto my story.
Yeah.
I think people are just sort of confused about what content they can share from a comedy show.
Totally.
But it's like photos, boomerangs, videos without sound. That's it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting though how like what a precarious position it is to call someone out, because I feel like a lot of the time, I mean, depending on who you are, I feel like for us it's maybe easier because we seem sort of unassuming on stage, whereas it would be more difficult, I think, if you were like a big like burly man or something. But like calling someone out, it either has the potential to make the audience like cheer and be on your side and like solidify your set as like amazing,
Yeah.
or you can suck all the energy out of the room. It's such a fine balance.
Well, I think the times where it actually is effective is if it's something that everybody else in the audience is also feeling.
For sure.
But because nobody else in the audience saw that this man was filming every set, they were just like, whoa. I also think there's just less tolerance for women doing that. Like, I think people want you to be as likable as possible. I think it's much easier to be an unlikable person and be a guy than to be an unlikable woman on stage. Like, there's comics who can go up and just get mad at the audience the entire show.
Yeah.
And they will crush. And those people are men. Like, there's no woman whose shtick is getting on stage and like berating them.
I mean,
Maybe there are.
Kind of me.
No, you don't really
No,
do
I
that.
I feel like I constantly berate the audience.
No.
I don't think the way like at an entire set of
That's not your character on stage, though. Like, maybe if you're doing crowd work, but like your set isn't going on stage and being angry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I just think like women have to set up a likability before they even do like a modicum of being rude to people.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think the rudeness from a woman, and I was thinking probably it sounds like you were like a bit upset. Like, I feel like the rudeness from a woman can never come from a place of like real anger.
Yeah.
There can't be a little bit of real anger. I'm gonna plug my show now. I'm running my first ever show on September 12th at the Lido. If you want to call it the Lido, that's fine with me. It's called That's Showbiz. And it's going to be really good. The lineup is amazing. Most of my favorite comics in the city, other than Nikki and Amy. But they will be on later shows, so stay tuned. There will be no dogs present. So honestly, if I were you and I was choosing, I'd probably choose Amy's show. But if you like showbiz, come to mine. September 12th at the Lido. Tickets are on sale right now. It's going to be fun.
Woo.
Woohoo.
Softy nomination.
Softy nominations. I'm the judge this week. You are the competitors. I'm looking directly at you.
Yeah. I
Nikki.
feel like I'm in the Hunger Games.
You are. Ooh, you are.
I'm from district, I don't know, the tech one.
I would like Amy to go first.
Okay, so Softy of the week.
Oh, you look so excited. I'm scared.
No, I'm actually nervous.
Oh, see?
Softy of the week for me is my dog Maud. She is a big old softie, and I feel really bad for her because we got her as a rescue dog. She was found wandering the streets.
Aww.
And she had like a little rotten tooth. And also, even when we got her, they were like, yeah, we got her from a rescue. And they were like, yeah, you can see this weird looking dog if you want. And we were like, okay. And we saw her, we're like, she's so cute. She is weird looking. She's a Staffy mixed with a Jack Russell. Tiny head, huge body. But she's very afraid of like pretty much everything. She's like afraid of her own shadow. But she was okay. We had her on her own for a while. And then we got another dog called Luke, and he's an absolute prick, and he loves balls, throws them for himself all the time, and he scares her. And then my sister got a dog, and now they just kind of bully her. And Maud is always just like in the background, just waiting for rubs. And the other day, there was a storm at our house, and it was so bad that she was so nervous that she licked her own little paw raw. So they had to put a sock on her. And
That's so sad.
yeah,
Is she okay?
She's okay now, I think. But
You're falling for it.
yeah, poor Maud. There was a video my sister sent me the other day, and one of the dogs was wagging his tail in her face.
That's really funny.
And she just sat there. She's just like, oh, it's okay. Everything's just going to happen.
Aww.
And she is an absolute sweetheart, and she's a big old softie in a room or a house full of mean men. Also the cat as well is a man, so she's just...
I feel like you keep nominating the people in your household and dogs that like are like bullied by everyone else.
If you met Maud, you'd understand. I wish I had
believe you.
videos of her. She's just like...
Okay, no, I
But
believe you.
And she's a big old softie, and yeah, she's afraid of anything spherical and anything stick-shaped and children. So what happened in her
Yeah,
life?
what
I don't
happened?
know. We don't know.
Poor Maud.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Maud. Maud the softie.
Okay, I'm gonna stay strong.
Okay.
Nikki.
My nomination
Mm-hmm.
is for my friend's mom.
Okay.
So not
interesting.
my mom.
This
So
is
there's
a real
no
personal softie.
no.
day.
Like this isn't my mom.
It's just a mom.
It's just a mom.
Okay, go
A
ahead.
lot of moms out there, you know. And her name is Lori.
Lori.
And she is one of my best friend's mom. So we sort of grew up together when I was young. So she knows me quite well. And when she recently heard about me losing my job. And so she instantly, as soon as she heard this news, DM'd me on Instagram and was like, send me your list of qualifications, what kind of like work you're looking for. Or she was like, what was the job you had before? And I told her I worked in marketing. And then she was like, okay, we were just about to hire this person for this marketing role at such and such place, but like I can put it on pause if you send me your resume by tomorrow and we can like review your application. It was for like a company that I have absolutely zero interest in working for. But also she was being so sweet that I felt bad to be like, no, thank you,
Yeah.
you know? But instead I was like, I'm not going to waste this person's time. So I was just honest with her. I was like, honestly, I'm just using this time to like figure out what I actually really want to do and like, you know, put my energy into something that I'm actually passionate about. And I don't think this like quite aligns with that. And she sent me this like beautiful voice note about how she thinks it's so amazing that I'm taking the time to do that and that not everyone does that. And that she's had several opportunities in her career to do that. And every time she does do it, she feels really happy for having actually like made that decision. And that just felt really nice because I feel like she's of a generation of people who's like, no, you need to be working like right now. If you're not in this job, you need to immediately go into this other job. Like, I'm giving you this opportunity. Why wouldn't you do it? But instead, she just made me feel so like assured and was like, I'm so proud of you for doing this. And I just think, I don't know, it's like a soft mom energy of someone who's not my mom.
Amy laid out like a history of softness, which was like compelling. And then you gave a story, which is like a brilliant story, very compelling, very heartwarming, certainly made me feel feelings. However, I just don't think it carried as much weight as the weight of Maud the dog.
Are you calling her fat? She is.
You did say she has a big body and a small
She's
head.
big boned.
Yeah. But that also is like a beautiful, beautiful story.
No, I do love Maud the dog. I can't wait to see videos.
Yeah.
I'll show you after this.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the podcast. That's the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends, tell your family, and leave us a good review. And yeah,
Like and subscribe.
like and blah blah
blah, blah.
like and subscribe.
Good
And
night.
Come back. Good night.
Bye.